To another episode of Beyond Chronic Disease. My name's Wendy Gathercole. How are you this week? Did you catch my episode last week on spring clean your mind and body? I'm going to banging on about that for the rest of the weeks, right up until we get there. It's going to be awesome. It's really the new wave of consciousness that is flitting around all over the world as we speak. I have it in my new book, A Crohn's Solution, and I call it the new woke movement. Now, we know all about woke, but I believe what I've got in my book is the real deal, and that is in awareness. So the spring clean your mind and body is all that is being in your body, being aware of what's going on, knowing your body and mind, creating wellness in your mind and body. I'm going to keep talking about this over and over until I don't know. I don't think I'll ever get sick of it, but you might, until it really wakes you up. Now, I am not negating any health professionals. Now, I believe that we need to go through life and do what suits us, what is the best fit for our bodies and mind. Now, I talk about meditation, and I see so many people get defensive about that or go, oh, well, that's woo-woo. I tell you what, the best advancement I've had in good mental health has been through meditation. I talk in my first book about how I was out one day. I was in the car. I just remember being in the car. I was so anxious. I'm not sure whether I'd just been to the shops or what. It just, this wave of anxiety came over me. Now, I used to have a lot of anxiety, panic attacks, depression. Well, I got diagnosed with depression, but was I really depressed? I don't know. There's a difference. You can find that out in the Spring Clean Your Mind and Body in September. So this wave of anxiety came over my body. That, you know, that feeling, I know I know many of you that listen to me suffer from anxiety. Your whole body just goes in turmoil. Okay, so what happened with me? I'll just go on what happened with me. My whole body was just feeling weird. Okay, you don't know whether you need to get out of the car. You just don't know what you need to do. Okay, a little bit like a panic attack. You don't know whether you need to lay down, stand up, go for a run. You just don't know. It's just this such a weird feeling that comes over you. And for that moment, I felt that I needed to go home, get barefoot on the grass. That just it's like it magically appeared in my mind, or my body, mind body. It was just this little download, like you need to get home and take your shoes off and barefoot on the grass. I couldn't get home quick enough. It was just like this real pumping feeling in the car, just trying to get home as quickly as possible without speeding, quickly as possible. And I remember didn't even park in the right parking in, didn't even park in my car park at home, because as soon as I got up the driveway, I just flung the door open, took the shoes off, and just started walking on the grass. That real grounding feeling. Just started walking around on the grass and started to feel better. Now, I'm not sure if you've heard about it. There's a series, I think, or a series of movie on, I think it's Netflix, about grounding. And now all these grounding sheets and, you know, all this grounding product, all these grounding products have come out now. I say to you, as I said to somebody recently, I'll talk about that in a minute, that yes, they probably work, but why do you need to buy it? Why do you need to spend the money that most of us don't have and just walk barefoot on the grass? But please don't do it in a fire ant district. Cost you nothing. Barefoot at the park, lunch break from work, take your shoes off. Just take a moment to be present and walk on the grass. Concrete doesn't cut it, Pete. It's got to be on, it's got to be on the earth. Even through your garden, if that's what you choose. I know I barefoot garden a lot, especially now that I don't dig a lot. I've just got a real basic garden. I just go in and weed. I don't need to have protective shoes on to pull out a few weeds. So barefoot gardening is very grounding as well. So my new woke movement is awareness. It's awareness of mind and body. What assists your body to stay calm? That assisted my body to stay calm. What assists my mind to stay calm is meditation. This is not perfection. There's no such thing as perfection, as perfect. You know, I challenge you out there, the perfectionists, how is your body feeling? How's your mind feeling when you're aiming for that perfection? So meditation for my mind and barefoot on the grass for my body when it's in that heightened anxiety mode. What have you found? What have you discovered for your mind and body? Or are you still trying to work out how to get to that? If you've listened to my podcast from the start, I've given you lots of little stories on what you could do. And like I've said before, you know, you try these different things, and if it doesn't gel with you, and you will always know what gels with you or not. And what I was going to say before was I just was asked just recently from a friend if I won't mention the product, but does this particular product work? I've seen it, you know, seen it around. It's been on Facebook. A few people I know have got it, or whatever the conversation was. And, you know, I was just about to go into, yeah, but you don't really need it, you know. And so the bottom line is, yes, there's lots of things that are marketed out there that actually work. They do actually work. There's some that don't, but there's a lot that work for your body. But again, do we need to spend the money on more products, more all the time? Or do we tune into our body and mind and look at what we have that we can use that has the same effect for free? I'd rather the free. I don't like stuff. And I believe that every time we buy something that we think, and look, sorry, I'll try and finish a sentence before I go off onto the next one. Every time we buy something that we think is going to help us, sometimes it doesn't, right? Because we're outsourcing our own individual power. When we outsource our power, not a lot really works for us. This is all part of my new woke movement. So when we come back to ourselves, tune into our bodies, we work out, we work it out ourselves. Sure, we have assistance. You don't have to do everything alone. You can take aspects, like even watching this podcast, you can take aspects of what I'm saying, but you don't have to sit there and have a picture of a book behind you. You know, you don't have to sit there and say, oh, I can't do a podcast because I don't have a book sitting behind me, or I don't have a bowl of fruit, or or I've got nothing to say like health-wise, so I can't have a podcast. No. If you want to have a podcast, what is coming up for you that you want to share? That's all that it is. So that's what I mean. Outsourcing our power to other people all the time. It works. It can work for a short period of time. It could work for a couple of years, but then you'll have a breakdown. Why? Because you've been outsourcing your power so much that even though bits of it are you, bits of it are the real you, most of it's just following somebody else's guideline that really isn't yours to follow. It's not what is being downloaded in your life for you to share. So that's basically the bottom line. So how do you work that out? To tune into your mind and body. And how do you do that? You join programs like my Spring Clean Your Mind and Body. You take pieces. If you want to grow, you take pieces from others in life, I guess, from the community. It doesn't mean that you do what you can't. You cannot replicate somebody else because you are you. And I know in circles that I roll in, even within family, that I know when somebody's trying to be somebody else. When one's trying to be somebody else. It's not the real them. You can feel it. I can feel it in the energy. That there's that little bit of fakeness, or there's a little bit of lostness in there. When the real you comes through, there's nothing stopping you. And it's just so beautiful to see when you can share openly and honestly, like I do here with you. And I just love it. I'm completely different person to many, many moons ago. There's no way in hell I would have been out here in the big wide world sharing any of this stuff with you, and unless, what do you mean unless? I wouldn't have been able to share any of this with you until it's all happened in my life, and this is what it's been downloaded for me, I guess. I guess. So in my new book, A Crohn's Solution, it has, like I've said, the whole first section of knowing your body. Instrumental in taking leaps and bounds in your life for your well-being, for anything. Doesn't have to just be for health. For something that you want to do, like a podcast, if you want to do a podcast and fear is holding you back, it can peel off the layers of trauma? What's stopping you? What's holding you back? What's that? Where's that fear coming from? My glasses keep falling off my head. Blip. Okay, so that's the end of this podcast. And I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.